Why is Shakespeare still so relevant? Still so compelling? In my paradigm-busting book, Shakespeare's Revelation, His Hidden Key to Spiritual Fulfillment, I offer you a compelling reason. Subliminally, through his subtext, is a deep secret we're all dying to remember. Who we really are, and why the hell we're here on earth. Through his subtext, Shakespeare's Revelation shows how he cuts a pathway through religion, philosophy, and psychology to deliver a pure, unsullied mystical teaching from the heart of the ancient mystical masters, going back to the Buddha, Hermes, Melchizedek, Moses, and Jesus of Nazareth. When you understand his subtext, you understand why the authorship had to be a mystery, and why the Church eradicated these mystical teachings from our thought, language, and deed. My name is Paul Hunting. I'd like to show you how the wisdom in Shakespeare comes from a lofty mystical realm, and he's offering us not a new theology, but an ancient theology new to us in this culture, and, like new shoes, may feel very uncomfortable at first. For nearly 40 years, I've been a passionate student of the ancient mystical secrets encoded in the Bible. When I first saw these forbidden secrets embedded in Shakespeare, I fell off my chair. This short video is just a wee taste of the full banquet hidden beneath the tablecloth. Bon appetit! To understand his subtext, you have to make at least 7 mind-blowing paradigm shifts. What's a paradigm shift? When you look at this picture, do you see a rabbit or a duck? Or both? The point? Identical information gives rise to many entirely different perceptions depending on your paradigm, mindset. Same with Shakespeare. If your mind is fixed on the outer plots and characters as they appear on the surface, you cannot see the subtext. I hope you enjoy word games and puzzles. Paradigm shift 1. Heresy equals freedom to choose. Be prepared for Shakespeare to shake up all your beliefs and disbeliefs about the scriptures. Paradigm shift 2. Outer world versus inner world. Instead of seeing the plays as about our outer world, look at them as metaphors of our inner world. Take King Lear. He opens saying, "Know that into 3 portions I shall divide my kingdom." On the surface, he's talking about his outer kingdom. But what if in the subtext he's talking about our inner kingdom? Who we really are, a soul, versus who we're really not, the ego. The true self, soul, would be represented by his beloved daughter Cordelia. She tells Lear the truth, and he banishes her, just as our own true self is banished by the ego. Our false selves, ego, could be represented by Goneril and Regan. They flatter and lie to Lear, just like our ego lies to us about who we really are. They betray his trust like the serpent betrayed God's. How do we confirm this theory? Anagrams are one of Shakespeare's many ways of leaving clues. Goneril is an anagram of religion, and Regan an anagram of anger. Was he angry at how religion betrays the soul? But of what is his favourite daughter Cordelia an anagram? It's not. But it is a homophone, sounds like, of Cœur de Lear, heart of Lear. And King Lear is also an anagram of real king, God. After all, it's the soul, not the body, that's the true child of God. Paradigm shift 3. Characters versus characterizations. What if all his key characters are characterizations of three core archetypes? God serpent, Adam Eve, Cain Abel, offering a triune model of consciousness. Take the Merchant of Venice. To win the hand of divine Portia and gain entry to Belmont, Bassanio has to find the image of the divine Portia in one of three caskets: gold, silver, or lead. Gold and silver represent the glamour of the false self. Lead represents the humility and ordinariness of the soul archetype that leads to detachment and entry to heaven within. Belmont being a metaphor of Eden. Bassanio chooses humble lead and is rewarded with unlimited abundance and love. Bassanio represents the prodigal son and his return home. Portia, the wisdom and purity of the soul in the kingdom of heaven. Paradigm shift 4. One key allegory flows through all 37 plays. The key allegory flowing through the entire subtext is a risky deviation from orthodox religion. The loss of the Holy Grail by Adam and Eve and its restoration by Jesus Christ. The Merchant of Venice is just one of 37 iterations of this quasi-biblical theme. John's Gospel says, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was made flesh." In the beginning, Antonio gives Shylock his word, and his word is made flesh, a pound of flesh. Then there's a trial where an affronted Jew takes the Christian to the court of Venice to have him executed. As a satire on the trial of Jesus, where an affronted Jew takes Christ before the court of Rome to have him executed. We will have a clear choice between mercy and revenge. Shylock demands revenge. He craves the law. So he gets the law and the hell that comes with it. John also says, the law was given by Moses. Grace and truth came by Jesus Christ. This Christ action was rejected by the Jews and misunderstood by the Christians. They just don't get it. But Shakespeare does. And like all the real truth teachers, he wants us to liberate our soul from tyranny. Paradigm shift 6. The Tempest. One play, 37 iterations. What if he just wrote one play about the Tempest in 37 iterations? The ubiquitous hidden theme throughout the Bible and Shakespeare is the Tempest. The Tempest is Shakespeare's symbol for dozens of biblical and mythological references to the waters, the wind from heaven, the word of God, the music of the spheres, the sound current, the Surat Shabd. Whatever you call it, the Tempest is sent to liberate the soul from the tyranny of the earth. Why was the Tempest sat at the head of the folio? Because it's the title of the entire oeuvre. Thus, a denouement or foreshadowing of all 37 plays. Look in any play and you'll find some reference to the Tempest. Blow winds and crack your cheeks, rage, blow. You cataracts and hurricanes spout, till you have drenched our steeples and drowned the cocks. In the face of the truth, all our illusions fall? Paradigm shift 7. Christ ingredients fulfilling Old Testament prophecies. Macbeth is the key to understanding how he seasons his plays with dozens of tiny motifs of the Christ story. All the plays contain subtle allusions to the Christ story, sprinkled into the text like herbs and spices. Macbeth tells us why. Like Adam, Macbeth betrays the rightful king, the soul. I have given mine eternal jewel to the common enemy of man. Now darkness and despair rule over the consciousness. Banquo, father to a line of kings, is murdered and resurrects at the banquet. Macduff, not of woman born, defeats the tyrant. Over 20 motifs like this pepper Macbeth. Why? The three witches represent the prophets. The Old Testament prophets delineated the role of the Messiah. To reenact Adam's betrayal symbolically, to fulfill the law of Moses and restore the Holy Grail to all mankind. The sound of the word can now be heard. If music be the food of love, such harmony is in immortal souls, but while this muddy vesture of decay doth grossly close it in, you cannot hear it. Come, ho, and wake Diana with a hymn. With sweetest touches, pierce your mistress' ear, and draw her home with music. This is a mere taste of the incredible richness of Shakespeare's subtext. In Shakespeare's Revelation, you'll find dozens more astonishing patterns and timeless mysteries solved. If you want fresh insight into who you are and why you're here, if you want to enjoy Shakespeare from a greater depth of understanding of his genius, if you'd like the ebook absolutely free, email me, Paul Hunting, at paul@shakespearesrevelation.com.